Susanna.
And I'm Priscilla.
And this is my friend Gabrielle. Do you want to tell them what we're doing today?
Today we're doing the Disney tag because honestly they gave us a bunch of tags and I like Disney, so that's what we're doing.
So all Disney fanatics, this is for you. So let's begin.
The first book is The Little Mermaid, a character who is out of their element, a fish out of the sea.
So mine is Jane Unlimited by Kristen Kishore. I love her books. She wrote the Graceling series, so she's amazing. And this one is completely different. It's a different type of narrative and it's very mysterious. And I'm sure you'll love it.
Well, as for me, I chose Rachel Chu from Crazy Rich Asians, which the cover will pop up somewhere over here. Honestly, if you've seen the movie and if you've read the books, then you know that this girl is out of her element. And yeah, that's basically all you need to know.
So for this question I chose Sight by Neil Shusterman because both of the main characters are fish out of the sea.
So the second question we have to answer for Cinderella, and that is a character who goes through a major transformation.
For this question I chose Heartless by Marissa Meyer. It is a story of just a girl that became Queen of Hearts.
Mine is To Kill a Kingdom because Lyra, the main character, goes through a major transformation and I definitely recommend this book. It was one of my favorites last year.
And as for me, I chose Theon Nero from Stranger Dreamer, and if you recognize his name, you know he was a very big asshole in the first book. Honestly, I was already in love with him at this point. But in the second book, certain things happen and he just becomes, honestly, not only part of the cast, but just a majorly nice character.
A spoiler.
And that's spoiler.
No, it's not. It's actually not a spoiler because you know he gets softer in the first book. So.
The next question is about Snow White and it's a book with an eclectic cast of characters.
For this question I chose The Maze Runner by James Dashner, whose characters are really different.
For me, I chose Six of Crows because everybody knows it's a complete different ragtag group of underdogs and they're amazing and please check them out.
I was gonna go with Six of Crows as well because honestly everyone knows that's what makes the story is the group of characters, but then I looked behind me and I saw the Lunar Chronicles, and if you've ever read the Lunar Chronicles then you also know that what makes this story are these characters, and they're just amazing, they're very eclectic, and you just cannot help but love all of them equally.
I wouldn't say equally, I love more.
I know, honestly I could not choose, I couldn't choose.
No, I can choose Scarlet.
Chris.
You're here.
Chris.
So the next question is Sleeping Beauty, a book that puts you to sleep.
Okay.
A book that put me to sleep, honestly, I usually like the books that I finish, and I don't think I've ever really needed to force myself to read a book unless it's a book for university, which then we all know we need to push through and just conquer the book. And besides those kind of academic books, I really don't feel like I've ever read a book that was just so boring that I had to go to sleep because I didn't want to read it.
Well, he's very lucky because my latest read, which was Fire and Heist, was a complete boredom. I actually said that. So yeah, complete boredom. I'm very disappointed by it.
I chose Lost Boy by Christina Henry because I just think it was really slow, a really slow read for me. It was like out of my comfort zone and then the storyline was really slow.
But did you like it?
I actually like that book, so
I like
different
some
opinions.
parts, and the storyline in general. But like
It looks
how it was
okay.
written, I think it was
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Question number 5 is The Lion King, and we have to choose a character who had something traumatic happen to them during their childhood.
So I would say mine is Three Dark Crowns because for those who read the books, it's pretty traumatic. Their childhood is not really normal at all. So, but it's still amazing. So check it out.
I chose A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness just because it's about a child that is going through some really, really bad time in his life.
For this question, I chose a character in one of the BLs that I've been reading, and the BL's called 10 Count by Rihito Takarai, I believe the author is. Anyway, everyone knows that BL is a bit messed up, and one of the characters had something pretty traumatic happen to them in their childhood, and that is why they are messed up, and yeah, it goes well with the story.
Boy
Boys
love.
What?
Estamos a fazer aqui cada cena.
Next question. I know you're very excited to know this. So, Beauty and the Beast. A beast of a book, a big book, that you were intimidated by but found the story to be beautiful. So, Let's start.
I chose the biography of Paul McCartney by Philip Norman, and it is so big.
It's the
It's
Bible,
the biggest,
guys.
yeah, it's the biggest book I own. I haven't read it. I don't have a really big book I already read, so I chose it because I think I'm gonna love it.
It's the Bible for you. I chose Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is a book that I had put off reading for 2 years because not only is it huge, but everyone says it is emotionally very damaging, and I can definitely attest to that. I finished it the other day and I was inconsolable, so yes, it was amazing, and I definitely recommend the series even though it will make you bawl.
Mine is Kingdom of Ash. I know a lot of us are fans of the Throne of Glass series and of Sarah J. Maas, so I definitely recommend it even though it is freaking huge, like nearly or over 1,000 pages, but just read it little by little and you know it's going to be amazing, so I definitely recommend it.
Seventh question is Aladdin, a character who gets their wish granted for better or worse.
Well, here I am again with Strange the Dreamer. If you haven't noticed, it's basically one of my favorite books ever. Laszlo Strange gets his wish. Actually, he gets multiple wishes granted, and that's what makes the story go round. And I will not divulge anything particular because I do not want to spoil anyone. Just
like
read
Anna.
the f***ing book. I don't know if you can swear though. I just swore.
No, don't swear! Do it again.
Okay. Just read the freaking book.
The freaking book. We don't swear in this house. Okay, so mine is Daughter of the Pirate King. She has this wish from the beginning of the book, and even though there were a lot of traumatic and stuff that she probably didn't want to happen, she has her wish by the end. So I believe Daughter of the Pirate King. It's amazing. Please read it.
So I chose The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Penn, and the main character gets one of her biggest dreams granted, and I can't spoil what it is, but she does.
So question number 8 is Mulan, a character who pretends to be someone or something they are not.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with Catwoman Soul Stealer, and I think Anna has the same book, so we can both talk about it.
Yeah.
And I would say, like everybody knows, Catwoman pretends to be someone she's not as an undercover job. So it's amazing. It has the perfect girl squad.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think she pretends to be someone else to be close to her enemies.
Yeah, it's a great strategy. So please read Catwoman Soul Stealer.
I chose another one of my favorite books ever, and that is Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat. I read this trilogy a while ago, but I do remember that one of the princes, it's about 2 princes, and one of the princes is taken captive by the other, and he has to pretend to be a slave when he isn't, you know, and it's not a spoiler, it's in the summary of the book. That is basically the summary of the book. You as the reader know that he's a prince, but the land that he's in, the prince that he's serving doesn't know, so it plays with that, and he did have to keep up that act for a long time.
Next question is Toy Story, a book with characters you wish would come to life.
I chose Wonder by R.J. Palacio just because the family in this story is so cute and I want to be a part of it.
I chose A Court of Thorns and Roses. I know a lot of you are also great fans of this series, and I am too. I actually like this series more than I like Throne of Glass. And I can say that I would love to be part of the Night Court, so I would love for them to come to life.
Y'all, I'm just gonna go with the most basic thing ever and say Six of Crows because we've already talked about how the characters make this story, and honestly, if they were all here right now in this space, no one would not be having the time of their lives. So yes, I would like kill to spend an evening with these characters because that's just who they are.
What would you be your skill?
My skill, what do you mean? As
Like,
in like,
each
as
one
in,
of them has
I had
a skill.
to be like a thief.
Yeah, you have to be.
Oh, I just be
them.
Wylan. Like I relate so much to Wylan. Like I'd just be his twin or something, like,
Okay.
something like that. I wouldn't have anything to add to this story, but
I have not read it.
I wouldn't have anything to add to their story. But if they stepped out of their book and came to just spend like lunchtime or something, that
we
would
just
be fun.
fangirl. That would be our
exactly.
skill.
That would be fun. We'd just
We'd be like support
oh my
all
god.
the time.
Yeah, exactly. We'd be like, oh my god.
Like, Kaz, you're doing your freaking best.
So the last question is Disney Descendants, your favorite villain or morally ambiguous character?
So mine, I don't have a book, but he has a lot of comics, and it's Loki. I love Loki. There are a lot of actually YA books based on Norse mythology, and Loki is always there, and I love them every single time. So please check everything that has Loki and read it because it's awesome.
Anyway, we just found out that I can't say the guy I want to say because it's a spoiler, but I can definitely say Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles because boy, is that a villain. And honestly, I could say more villains, but I don't want to spoil anything. And you always know that Lavanna's a villain, so yeah, just go with her.
She's great.
So I chose again Catwoman by Sarah J. Maas just because she's kind of an anti-hero, kind of villain in the book, and I really like her. Thank you so much for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below.
And y'all can find us somewhere on social media on These Lovely Girls.
You can find his booktube channel in our description, and
Please beware though, it is like
Old.
very old.
it's very old
Yeah.
but still very good.
Go
so-
support him so he can come back. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's it.
Bye.